Hello there. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to day 26th of our 50-day spoken English journey. ये कहीं को नहीं होता है प्रॉब्लम. Hi there. Hope your day has been great. Welcome to day 26th of our 50-day spoken English journey. All right. Today we are going to be dealing with strategies that pretty much deal with repairing your spoken English. Okay? Now, let me tell you that today's lesson is a game changer for your speaking confidence. Also, something very important is that fluent speakers do not speak perfectly. Okay? The big idea for today, all right, is that fluent speakers do not speak perfectly, as I kind of just told you. They do forget words, all right? They lose their sentences as well, okay? And they change ideas in midway. What do I mean by this? I'm going to let you know in detail. The difference with us is that they repair and they do not panic. But it's the quite opposite for us. That is, people who are trying to learn this particular language. Now, just let me give you a very, tiny overview about this lesson is that this lesson shows you how to continue speaking even when you forget, sound natural whilst correcting yourself during any kind of conversation. And overall, it teaches a person to stay confident instead of stopping. That's something really important and a bigger idea in itself. Okay, that is the core concept that we are going to dive in today. Let's look at part one, the big myth about fluency. All right, many learners think fluent speakers never forget. All right, they think that they are born with this capacity to speak continuously, but that is not true. They do forget. Okay, and also many learners think that if I forget I must stop. Look at the second point. Okay, many learners also believe that if I forget I must stop. No, that is completely untrue. Also, to keep in mind that many times even I have gone through this particular saying that mistakes means bad English, right? But here's the truth, guys. It's not true. None of this is true, really. Native speakers forget all the time. In the sense, people who have that particular fluency of C1, C2 level, of proficiency, also forget all the time. But they do not stop. How? Because they fix it while speaking itself. So today I'm going to kind of share certain strategies with you wherein I will let you know how to fix a sentence when you forget what you are actually trying to stay or say. Okay. So first let us kind of wrap our heads around this truth that forgetting is normal. Is pretty much everyone's game. Everyone forgets. It's not human to not forget. And stopping is optional. What do I mean by saying stopping is optional? Is that forgetting is a normal process of being a human, but we can actually choose if we want to stop or not. So, here in this lesson, I'm going to kind of let you know that why stopping is optional. Okay, let's look at part two for today. And part two talks about a strategy. And what does the strategy talk about? Is repair. Like, how do you repair your spoken English? So, the repair strategy is a natural way to correct, restart, or continue when something goes completely wrong. Okay. Why? Because it helps you to buy thinking time, firstly. Okay. And fix meaning in the sense sometimes people just get scared when they stop, and the whole meaning of the concept that they are trying to put across changes. So that also is going to be part of the explanation for today. All right. And very importantly, we need to understand we all are human. So this particular strategy known as the repair strategy for today, okay, known as the repair strategy, will help you to sound human, and it will actually not sound memorized. Now, these are spoken habits and not grammar rules. You need to keep that in mind that we are not wholly or completely teaching grammar rules. Okay, these are strategic learning methodologies wherein we have curated this here at GK Pro in order for you to understand how to fix spoken English, or sometimes when people kind of refer that to broken English as well. Okay, so these are the strategies that are going to come up one by one. So the part 3 for today deals with type 1. What? Type 1 repair strategy. And was what as you can see on the screen, it is um, as simple as what you understand, that is pause plus restart. What do I mean by pause plus restart? So when your sentence pretty much is broken or breaks, do not panic. The first thing you will do is not to panic. Okay, you take a short pause and then you restart the whole sentence again. Let's look at some examples here. How? A natural repair phrases. Okay, phrases sound like this. Or, when you look at certain words like sorry, I mean, let me say that again. All these phrases can be uh, kind of, pushed into that sentence wherein you stopped. For example, a broken sentence may sound like this. Yesterday I was, then I went outside, things like this. So, but a repaired sentence with these natural repair phrases will sound something like this. Yesterday I forgot after this. What am I going to say? I'll just add a sorry in between. Yesterday I was sorry, very tired. Okay, that's something that I'm using to cover up my broken sentence. These are the phrases. What are the phrases now? Sorry, I mean, and one of my favorites is let me say that again. Okay. Now, what I want you to kind of do is pause the video. As I always tell, this is a very important part. Kindly pause the video here. Yes. And read these two sentences aloud. And I pretty much think that you can do that. All right. Before I even start part 4, I would just like to kind of assure that this is confidence, guys. When you use certain words to cover up your broken sentence, it shows a sense of confidence and it's not weakness. What we are kind of letting you know here or teaching you is that do not stop when you forget, right? You need to have some kind of strategy around you so that it makes you feel comfortable when you're looking at using English as your communication tool. All right. So I was thinking if I forget, I'm just pretty much going to say, let me say that again, or sorry, okay, or let me explain, right? I wanted to say, if I forget, I'm going to say actually or something else, and then continue with my sentence. Okay. So let's look at part 4. A repair type 2. Simplify the sentence. A very good strategy, in fact. When your sentence feels too long, cut it short. Okay, don't force complexity, in the sense do not go for complicated English. That's it. Switch to simple English. Instead of saying what I wanted to explain was and then continue with your sentence, you can just go ahead and say the main point is. Okay, so what exactly am I telling here is that choosing easy language is always the best theory. If you look at improving this, and once you reach that level of fluency, is when I would advise you to go ahead and use complexity, my friends. All right, great. Part 5 for today deals with repair type 3. And what do you think that is? Just look at the screen and try to just pause the video and try to understand what does change direction mean in English. All right, change direction in English actually helps you to get that natural fluency along with thoughtfulness. What do I mean? Let's take a good look at that. Sometimes your idea changes, all right, mid sentence. Many times, yes, it happens to me as well. So you're kind of talking about something. However, your idea changes amidst the conversation, in the sense, in between the conversation, your idea changes and you want to kind of tell something else, all right? Rather than kind of, telling that original sentence, you want to change your idea. That's normal. It happens to me as well. So, here I want to introduce you to certain words known as direction markers. Okay. Now, what are direction markers? Direction markers are something like this. Actually, what I mean is, let me put it this way. Let's get started. Meanwhile, I think. So, all these phrases can be memorized as well. However, I would not personally memorize this. I would use them in my daily conversations, is what I kind of advise anyone, because using any word when you repeat certain sentences or when you talk to a person, I think that works better, and your practice also is pretty much covered. So let's look at an example. I think online learning is difficult. Now, if I stop here, in the sense like if I have forgotten, I would just add this word actually. Okay, yeah. So I think online learning is difficult. Actually, it's useful if you practice, right? Changing direction sounds thoughtful and not confused. Please keep that in mind. When I'm telling you that, changing direction is nothing but you're adding words like actually, what I mean is, let me put it this way, let's get started. Meanwhile, I think that this is right or this is wrong. So these are certain strategies again, so that the listener doesn't think that you are getting confused. Okay, they will pretty much think, oh, he's kind of talking something really that makes sense, so it's thoughtful, right? So that's another strategy. So repair type 4 is repeat and continue. Now, what is repeat and continue? It's as simple as it gets here, guys. Repeat in the sense, repeat your sentence if you have forgotten it. Let's look at an example here, okay? That is, see, look at the screen when I am kind of, trying to let you know what exactly the concept means. All right. So repeating is a powerful repair tool. Okay. You repeat the last safe word and continue. What do I mean by safe word here? Safe word is, as this example talks for itself, the meeting. If I say the meeting and I forgot, what am I going to say? I'm just going to repeat this whole thing. The meeting was long but useful. Another example, this topic, if I forget, what am I going to do? I'm not going to panic. All right. I am not going to, I am not going to, I'm not going to panic. This is not what we are going to do, guys. Okay. So we are going to repeat the same thing. This topic helped me understand better. So, what is the whole concept here? That repetition keeps your mouth moving while your brain thinks. Okay, so repetition buys time without silence. That's something really, really important to me. Okay, and that's fluent behavior. Let's look at a real life repair demo. How does it actually feel like if someone really forgot? So, if the question is, what do you think? If someone asks a person, what do you think about speaking English daily? Hmm? Now, the natural repaired answer is, well, I think speaking daily is, if there's a filler, do not stop here. Okay, see, well, I think speaking daily is actually very helpful. It builds confidence, and over time, you stop thinking too much. Okay, so what are we doing here? Okay, the sentence has started, all right, it ends here because the person has pretty much forgotten after this. So, what are we doing? We are kind of using this word actually in order to buy time. The mind starts thinking, like, what exactly can I talk next? And it just comes out pretty much instantaneously what exactly you want to put on the table, or what do you want the person to listen to, the third person that you're talking to. Okay, that is the strategy. Now, what has happened here? You paused, you repaired, and there is a sense of continuation. That is very, very important. No stopping is our core strategy, all right? And that's actually fluency if you look at it. Um, and another perspective, because when you are kind of using certain words, which I told you here, like if you can look at the screen, we were talking about using words like actually. What I meant is, let me put it this way, let's get started. Meanwhile, I think so and so. So these words help cover up those broken sentences. That's the whole concept for this particular lesson today. All right. So that is an awareness practice I pretty much want you to do, guys. Please pause the video. A very important thing to keep in mind, whenever I say that you pause the video, it's your turn. Okay, it's your turn to go ahead and practice the strategy that I just spoke to you about. If you do that, is only when you understand that you are following this concept and trying to understand the core principle of the whole, the the whole thing that's going on, or the whole lesson. Like, what are we trying to talk about here? We are trying to talk about how you do not stop when your sentences are broken. Okay, great. So pause the video and do this activity. Say it aloud. Say only this aloud. You're going to say, if I forget, I repair. Okay, if I forget, I repair. And what do you repair? Your sentences, obviously. So, if you can look at the first sentence, I want to explain if you have forgotten. You say sorry and then you continue. The reason is, if you've forgotten, actually, and then you continue. The same thing with these two as well. So here, the only rule is keep going, even if it's not perfect. Okay, please go ahead and try to do this. While the class is going on. That is, pause the video and please do this. All right. So just a final takeaway. Today is not the day 28th. I'm sorry for this. It's day 26th. Okay. So a final takeaway is forgetting is normal. Stopping is optional, guys. Okay, optional in the sense I have just given you around four repair types, right? The repair one actually deals with pause and restart, okay, where you're going to use sorry, I mean, or let me say that again kind of phrases. All right. And the second type is simplify the sentence, wherein you are looking at using simple English, okay? And the third repair type is change direction. Change direction in the sense you're going to use phrases like actually, let me put it this way. Way is something where direction comes in picture, right? So you can kind of talk direction wise as well in English. Let me put it this way. Let's get started. All right. Started. Only vehicles don't start, even English starts, right? So that is why let's get started. Meanwhile, I think, etc. Now, repair type 4 deals with repeating. What are you doing? You're repeating the last safe word, or you're repeating, you pretty much can repeat the whole sentence as well. Okay. So these are the four types of, repeat structures that, I kind of just told you. That is repair structures. I'm sorry, repair structures. All right. Great. So As I was talking about the final takeaway, stopping is optional in the sense you can stop, but I would personally tell you do not stop and go on practicing, standing in front of the mirror. Just talk about any random topic. Even if you stop, use any of the repair strategies and try to repair those broken sentences. Why? Because obviously repairing your sentences keeps you fluent, and confidence keeps enhancing. All right, do not go for perfection. That is something I have been telling you time and again. All right, fluency is not smooth speech, it is recovered speech, in the sense you have to try to patch up your broken English or your broken sentences. Try to patch up your sentences which you feel are not completed as well. So that is what this session for you today is all about. Now, if you're learning with us on YouTube, this lesson is a part of our free spoken English course, guys. If you want guided practice and step by step confidence building, you can always join us through the free course link in the description. Thank you so much for joining in today.